And I would like to tell you that I lived in Littleton, Colorado, raised my family there, and began my work as a portrait artist there. And I was at a little boutique show drawing a portrait of a child, and a very tall man with a very fun sense of humor came up to me and introduced himself as Terry Ludwig. And we talked a little about pastels and portraits. And he told me that he liked, that he did portraits also, but of adults that he did in life drawing classes. And I'd bump into him occasionally at little art shows around town. Then I moved to Phoenix, and I heard through the art grapevine that Terry Ludwig had begun creating a line of pastels. And I saw, I think, them for the first time at IAPS, an IAPS meeting in New Mexico, where he was there with his gorgeous array of his luscious pastels. And I also learned that at his pastel office in Littleton, that he had a small classroom where he had a lot of the artists that he had met through IAPS and around the country of great reputations. They would come from all over the country and teach in his classroom. And because I had lots of friends and previous students in Denver, I finally got up the courage to ask Terry if I could possibly teach in his classroom one day so that I could have some of my previous group back. And I was almost nervous to do it because he had people of such high reputation as his teachers. But he graciously welcomed me. And I always have remembered how much I loved seeing how the pastels were made and being there. So, Jeff, I have my Terry Ludwig apron, which I had then. It, like Terry, is very big and very sturdy. And I have loved this apron all this time. So my apron and I are really delighted to return. And so everyone, I introduce to you Jeff Ludwig.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Terry Ludwig Studios.
Thank you. We hear you well.
Okay, fantastic. I'd like to introduce my wife, who's this is my wife, Dina. And the person behind the camera is our production manager, Suzanne. So we're gonna.
Hello, Suzanne.
Hello.
All right, we'll spin that around. And,
Suzanne, we're getting a little much ceiling. If you might aim the camera a little lower.
yeah, switch that on.
Okay. There you go.
All right, so we're in the garage here where we place all our finished product. Like these sets here, these are our 3 different green sets: cool, neutral, and warm. And we lay them out in the different sets that we produce for you folks. And let's come on down, see where the magic actually happens. So I've got some of the pigments laid out here that we work with. Here are our blues right here, our turquoise, ultramarine blue, and cobalt. And our green. And here are our 3 oxides: black oxide, brown oxide, and red oxide. Terra Rosa. And here's our Sierra, raw Sierra, sienna, and birch sienna, and yellow ochre. And we got a dark one too, dark ochre. And we've got 2 different raw umbers. This is both are raw, and then this is our burnt one. And then this is our other black. It's our bone black. It's our only organic pigment that we use. It's a cattle bone that's been burnt and pulverized. It kind of has a green hue to it, so we tend to add it with our greens. And this is our darker green that we use. And we our mixer, Cody, he mixes everything up, and he weighs it out on our gram scale, and mixes everything up in a 5-quart Hobart bowl. And it works from a recipe book that my dad put together. And he mixes it here on the Hobart mixer. And it gets good and messy back here. Here I can show you some of our synthetics. We don't use any cadmiums. We like repeat customers. Healthy one too. So this is our warm red, and we add a little violet and get the cool red, our quinacridone, our yellow, and our newer one is the Prussian blue. And with the synthetics, we've got to keep them wet, because if we try to mix them dry, they tend to clump together and they don't like to mix with the other pigments. So we've got to get them wet first, and then they mix well. And then once we've got those, got the paste mixed up, we can bring it. Oh,
Oh!
look who we got over here. This is my dad, Terry Ludwig himself.
Great. Hello. How good to see you.
Well, it's good to be seen at my age rather than viewed.
So I can do a little demonstration as to how we get the paste into the frame. I think most other manufacturers use an extruder. We use, but we get the paste wet, and we push it into these frames here. Of course, we fill the whole frame. And then once we've got this all filled up, it goes into the food dehydrator that's right here behind Terry here. And these were from the other day. And so the next day we pull these out. Lift the frames out. And then we have to hand sand each one of these. Because they tend to dry darker than what's inside. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little darker. I've got some other ones here that in comparison to the dry ones that haven't been sanded, and these have been sanded here, as well as these is a little darker. But so what you see when you get a full set, each one of those sticks have been hand sanded and handmade and hand mixed, and that's pretty much the process. And then we have the sticks that don't turn out. They go up here in these bags, and then we put them through a Cuisinart, and we crush them, and then they get filed away on these other shelves. And we can just add distilled water and reconstitute that powder. And sometimes they come out even better. So,
Can I take questions?
yeah, we'll take some questions.
Jeff, I forgot to mention to them that they could put the questions on chat, but
Oh,
if we'd like to just stop for a minute, why don't we just try opening it up to the floor if they have
Okay.
questions about this so far? Shall we try it?
I have a question.
Sure.
Can I ask my question?
Go.
So all of his colors that they make are made from just those primary colors that he has over on the table that he showed us?
yes.
Wow.
Really? What about white? What do you do for white?
We do use a titanium white powder. I
Uh-huh.
can show you that.
All right. Huh. Well, I'm even more impressed than I was before. I'm no kidding. I love your pastels. They're my absolute favorites. But now that I see you're doing everything handmade, I'm like totally impressed.
Someone wants to know what makes our pastels different from others.
Well, like I said before, I think everyone else tends to extrude them. We tend to squish the paste into the frames, and we kind of accelerate the drying process by putting them in food dehydrators, where I think other folks tend to let them air dry. I know Schminke out in Germany lets them dry for at least 2 to 3 weeks in their warehouse.
Can I ask you how many sets do you think you make a year?
Oh, good question.
We do 11,000 of the
I-
VBs.
We did what?
We did 11,000 of the VBs. What are those? The Vibrants?
The Vibrants.
Just last year.
Yeah, that's 11,000, and that's not one of our more popular sets. So the Darks 2 is probably our biggest seller, which is right here. And if everybody's wondering, this is the eggplant. It's in the Darks 1 set.
Someone asked how many pigments, out of the few pigments, how many colors do we have?
We currently have 750 different colors.
And then someone said, are they all sanded a few at a time by hand?
It depends on who's sanding them. Sometimes the newer folks who sand will sand them one at a time. I'll sand them 2 at a time.
What do you do with the pastel dust after sanding them?
Well, we bag that up and we have to throw that away because it's contaminated with other colors, and sometimes paper towel that can't be reused.
We have a few questions that are proprietary information. Where do our pigments come from and the binder that we use?
We get our pigments from at least 3 or 4 different companies. Some of them do come from China. We're trying to work around that. Should
Total sets.
those supplies get cut off here soon, but there's no, that may not be anything we can get around.
Jeff's not allowed to say. And we just saw that we sold over 5,000 sets. Was it 5,000?
Yeah, we're 5,000 cents.
Over 5,000 sets.
5,000, which ones?
I think it was all.
Cents, that's
Oh.
all cents combined, and this is the number for the V100.
Oh,
That's the number
Oh.
you got,
11,000
11,000 of the.
of just the V100. Okay,
okay.
got it.
I'd like to ask a question about the pigments. When you were
Okay.
talking about them, Terry, you said that bone black was the only organic pigment you had, but then you had synthetic. So are most of the pigments natural in origin or synthetic in origin?
Yes. They're they're natural, we can get them that way. We have the man-made ones that have to be made like that, like the cadmiums. I've experienced leukemia, and just soon none of my customers have that problem. So we're using synthetics for like the cadmium red and cadmium yellow. Trying to think, well, the eggplant, as the artists want to call it, is a synthetic. And there's some more also.
But most of the earth tones come from the United States.
Yes.
And these come directly out of the ground.
Can you say, how did you do the organic? Did you say it was from cattle bones?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you do exactly? Grind them up and what?
Well, I don't. We get them in a powdered form.
Oh,
They used to call it ivory black, but then the elephants didn't care for that so much. So now we're using the bone black.
Can you explain your dad's leukemia and how this wasn't the cause? That's it.
Oh, I was an oil painter when I had the leukemia, and it didn't. So I got out of that. And they don't know why that I had leukemia, just lucky, I guess. That was 20 years ago.
Are they still using the cadmiums on other makers, Terry or Jeff?
Possibly.
Oh, that's why I was wondering, right? 'Cause you-
There's some trade secrets that we don't get involved with, so I don't ask them.
We just,
I got you.
differently.
Terry, I would like you, while you're talking to us, to tell us, how did you get started making pastels in the first place?
Well, I blame it all on another one of those pastel artists, Lorenzo Chavez. We were painting
Oh, okay.
together.
Yeah.
And I was out there quietly using my oil paints, and they don't make much noise. But he was over there making these noises while he was working with his pastels. And he said, "Lud, you got to try this." Well, I did, and it just got out of hand.
But you did for the colors that were available.
Well, there wasn't a lot of colors being made that I was used to. Being an oil painter, in art school was 10 colors and white. And so I used those colors, and I tried to keep it simple. I was using a maximum of 2 pigments and white. So I could just make it easier on myself, and the recipes.
Okay. How do you develop new colors?
Well, right now, I don't come to the shop very often. Today's kind of special. But being that we get quarantined this past year, I'm in the basement a lot. So I'm playing with the pigments that I have down here, which are the same pigments they have here. And I'm mixing colors that I haven't really got into in the past to try to make new colors. So I make them down there. Once I make them and put them in stick form, I make color charts and give the information on there so that Jeff and Dina can make them from there. So those are colors that I've not made before, but there's colors that might be a possibility in the future.
There's a question. Do you have a retailer in Montreal?
We do. It's a brand new one. I don't think his website is up yet.
Take that way on.
Migliart. It's in Quebec. And I can give that information to Dodie. And we also, once his website launches, we will be posting that on Instagram and Facebook.
It's me that asked the question because I live in Montreal. He's in Quebec. I know he's far from my house. I think I know who you're talking about, but I would like to know if how we become a retailer. Maybe do you want to have some other retailer in Montreal? Because I have a lot of friends that has to order them from United States because he doesn't deliver. The one who you're talking about in Quebec, he does not deliver, so we cannot order in the website. We have to go to Quebec to buy Terry Ludwig pastel because he doesn't ship. I mean, so that's why I'm asking, because I have a lot of friends who would like to have, and we have to order it from United States if we have to have them shipped. So it's just a question because I love your brand, so I order them from United States. So that's why I'm asking the question.
Anyone that wants to be a real retailer, if they could email customer service at Terry Ludwig Pastels, and we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
There was a question though. Do you have a retailer or do you have somebody in Phoenix that you use?
We don't have any brick and mortar stores that we use down in Phoenix. No, it's primarily Dakota, Cheap Joe's, Blick,
Jerry's.
Rochester Art,
yeah, Rochester Art.
not Jerry's, no.
Oh, not.
No.
May I give you a little pitch though also, and that is that some of us love to be able to buy an individual pastel, which I have not ever found available on the other artists' store websites. And so I just like to remind them that they can go directly to your website, which is just terryludwig.com, isn't it?
That's correct.
And you can order sets or individual sticks directly from you.
That's correct.
Okay.
There's another question. How did you decide what to put in the candy set? I did that one.
Yes, that's a question for Suzanne.
I was really influenced. I was influenced by Dios de los Muertos. Took an image off that and just all the bright colors and kind of went around our room, and the colors that really spoke to me that seemed to represent that holiday and just that time of year is kind of what helped influence that. But obviously it was meant to be a much broader subject. So that was just kind of the starting point, and that's how I picked the colors.
Yeah, is eggplant your highest selling color?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's a great color. I think I have a few sticks hanging around. Yeah, Terry, you invented that one?
Yes,
That, I have to say, is probably the best color of all the different brands out there. I mean,
well, thank you.
that is an incredible color.
Well, being an old oil painter and starting with oils, there was colors that other manufacturers weren't making. And I try not to steal colors from other manufacturers. I mean, I got enough of them in my head that I can just mix them up.
Right. Well, that's a great color for sure. Yeah. How many of those do you sell?
I would think a double gob. Yeah,
Yeah.
at least.
11,000 last year
Oh, 11,000 on the,
of the singles. I don't know if that includes any sets, but
okay. Dina's telling me we sold at least 11,000 open stock of the eggplant. She's not sure if that's including it with the ones that were in the sets, but yeah, 11,000 went out last year.
do you have a seafoam color?
We got some real nice turquoise that are kind of close to a seafoam, but I couldn't pinpoint one that's an exact seafoam.
I'd recommend going to the website.
Yeah.
checking it out to see.
Look in the turquoise section.
I would like to make a comment about eggplant while that was at the subject. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be talking too much, but I have found that ever since I found that eggplant, or a couple of yours that are very similar, purpley darks, I have been able to pretty much eliminate ever using black again.
Oh,
I think it makes just the most wonderful, luscious darks without the coldness of blacks. And that's how I've loved that one.
Well, I enjoyed pushing color to get there. So it was a fun color to make.
Any more questions?
Someone asked about what kind of binder you use.
That's kind of a house secret.
Okay.
Yep, right.
Is, Jeff, are you an artist also?
I was a jeweler for 27 years before coming on. But I have access to wonderful teachers. I just don't have any time. I'm so busy making sticks for you folks.
His
Oh,
art
that's
is
great.
color.
You're kind of a diamond in the rough then, huh?
Oh, that's great.
You have sets of your new colors?
We can go take a look at some of the new sets we've got down here. I'm not sure quite how the light is down here. This is our Cara Margulis set. It's a newer set. And then our Nightscape set right here, which features the new Prussian blue quite a bit. And we do, in this Prussian or in the Nightscape set, we do have two sticks that are iridescent. Is the yellow. I don't know if you can see the sparkles. And then we've got silver.
Wow. Okay, I need some of those.
How many iridescent colors do you make altogether?
Just the two right now. We did do a Christmas giveaway a couple of years ago. They got a great response. Folks would like to see it sold as a regular set, and we're looking into doing that. I think Marla Bagata does a video that she had grabbed the set from one of her students and did a video on that. And so we get a lot of calls on that.
Someone asked, what is each of our favorite color?
Oh.
Mine is one of the iridescents. Either one.
pick it up?
Yeah.
He showed him.
Oh, the favorite color?
Yeah. Would you have a favorite, Dina?
It's the sparkle one.
Same.
You
That one,
Yeah.
one, yes. Can you pick up one of those?
Yeah, we showed it earlier.
Oh, you did.
Jeff, do you have a
That's my
favorite?
favorite.
I like the bright colors in the sunrise sunsets. They just really pop. They're a mixture of the yellows and the reds together. This is our sunrise sunset 60-piece set. The very first one is a very bright yellow. I don't know if our lighting's all that hot, but
That's bright.
Someone asked, do the iridescents adhere well?
Yeah.
Yes.
they do go on very nice. Very soft.
Here's the turquoise if they want to.
We'll do the
Yeah, show the
turquoise.
turquoise.
It's just kind of close to a sea thing, but.
Wow, look at all those turquoises. Yeah.
For the sea foam question, there's this one. Do you want to pull it up and see what
Yeah.
It's the T300.
T300? Yeah, beautiful. What's your recommended starter set?
Oh. Dad put together one years ago that we still have. It's called Best Love Basics, and it's a real small 14-piece set. Lends itself well to both plein air and portrait. We've missed a couple of the colors here, but this is where it is. What you see over here is we do a set for Alan Picard. Now, we don't sell these ourselves. We put those together. We send those to him if you'd like to do portraits.
It's on display, so it's a little dusty.
Oh, there's the Best Love Basics set.
Sorry, it was on display, so.
That's interesting. Alan Picard has his own set that he sells. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's coming out with a new one. I think it's going to be a 30-piece set. I don't know if I was supposed to say that.
So
I don't know if that was-
does Alan Picard use those then when you have a workshop with him or something? Does you have to buy his set?
Yeah, if you want this set, yeah, you got to buy it from his website.
Gotcha. Oh, I see. Okay.
How many duplicates in the sets you make? Depends on the color.
Yeah, it depends on the duplicates and the crossovers. We do have like this one here that's in this set we were just talking about, the Best Love Basics. This is it probably looks white to you, but it's a very mild yellow. And it's found in at least 7 or 8 different sets. It's just a very popular color. It's probably very popular right after the eggplant. It's probably one of our second most popular. Jeannie Smith roster, she uses this one quite a bit to finish off the crest of her waves, she says, and it does a nice touch, she says.
Do you have a desert landscape set?
We do. We have an arid landscape set. It's a 60-piece set. And we do a red rock set that was kind of inspired by the red rocks that we have here in the foothills of Colorado. Lends itself well to arid. It's a lot of blues for skies. A lot of these are new colors that are only found in this one set.
I like those greens back there too. Yeah. That's a real candy store you got going there.
We hear that a lot.
I don't know how the rest of them feel, but I find that on those close-ups, looking at the colors, it's really very torturous out here not to be able to just reach over there and grab a couple and pick them up. So,
what is a larger starter set?
Larger starter set, I recommend the Maggie Price Basic Values. Once again, it lends itself well to the plein air as well as a portrait set. She did a wonderful job of selecting the colors.
Yeah.
And it's a 60-piece set.
And then someone asked the second most used color beside eggplant. I think Dina's looking that up.
Oh, second, I think probably white.
White.
Probably the second.
And is it called Red Rock set? So this set that we just showed, this is the Red Rock set.
That's correct. There's going to be a 30-piece Red Rock set, which is the first 30 colors, or you get the 60-piece set, which includes the blues and the greens.
Okay.
And if there are colors in this set, in any set for that matter, We do have the indexes available on the website, so you can select those certain colors. So that way you don't have to buy the whole set, you can just get those colors that you like.
And if you're local, we do have a showroom, so you can come in and pick out the sticks if you'd like.
That's right. And anytime throughout the week, whenever you purchase things here, it's 20% off on both the sticks and the sets. So you don't have to wait for a special day or anything. They're always on sale here.
Well, is there anything else you were going to show us, Jeff, or shall we award your door prizes?
Oh, yes, I don't have those put together yet, but
you don't have to, but
Oh,
we're
okay.
going to draw names for them.
okay.
So when I contacted Jeff, he of course offered to do his presentation for free, not our usual, honorarium. So I suggested that maybe I spend the $150 we usually give an artist for a demo, that maybe we could buy a few pastels to give us some door prizes. So I said, the problem is shipping because we're not together for meetings. So Terry very generously said, Jeff generously said,
Happens a lot.
Instead, tell you what, he said, I'll put your $150 toward shipping, and that he would donate 18 sample sets of 8 pastels each. Is that correct, Jeff?
Yes. I have to let you know that they are seconds. They'll be the better seconds. We have such a high call for the sticks that we have for this orders going out. And I'm making sure that each and every set will have an eggplant in it. So.
Perfect.
Okay.
So if you'll hang on for just another minute, we'll turn the meeting back over to Rich, our president, Rich Orban. He and his wife are together. And so they have taken our members' names and put them on slips of paper, and they are going to draw 18 names and read them off as the winners of our door prizes. So you can all cross your fingers and your legs or whatever you want to do out there. And so Rich and Peggy, will you read off the winners? But stick around, Jeff. We want to give you a round of applause later.
Okay.
So Rich, back to you. Rich, you have to unmute your speaker.
Yes, I'm in the process of getting them out right now.
Oops, sorry, I was too soon.
So, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can you hold 1 second, please?
Anybody have another question for Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff, I know. I was going to ask you, all those pigments, they really are mined, right? I mean, those cobalts, they come right from the earth too, right?
Yeah, the cobalt. Yeah, the cobalt comes from the earth. Yep.
Yeah, like most of them. Yeah, exactly. Which is amazing. I don't know why I think that, like a lot of pigments, but we take for granted that everything just made. But that's cool.
This is
Nori says, thank you, Ludwigs, for your generosity.
Yeah.
Jeff, in olden times, I used to hear that especially some of those amazing teals only came from mines in Afghanistan and some of those rare places. Is that true anymore?
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'll certainly call the manufacturer and find out a little bit more background on the turquoise.
No, you don't need to. It can remain a mystery.
Is it more difficult to avoid cadmium?
Is it more difficult to do it?
To avoid the cadmium?
No, we found a way that pretty much
Jody?
duplicates the color.
It's not as intense as the cadmium, right?
Well, not quite, but yeah, it's better than cancer.
We did, what's that?
I was going to start reading the names off for everybody.
Okay.
Rhonda Miller, Carol Bendel, Judy Petcher, Donna Branson, Liz Kenyon, Nori Thorne,
Yay, no.
Patty Hagan, Linda
Show my pigments again.
Elmer, Steve Yancey,
Ooh, nice.
Alan Fry,
Sense of humor
Yeah.
Diane
for them to identify.
Greenwich, Rob Bergheimer, Gary Bender, Barb Long,
Thank you, Ludwigs.
Is it Jerry Rowett? Ila Larson, and Joanne Peon, and Sharon Fry.
Oh, whoa.
Nice, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Ludwigs.
Yay, thank you so much.
Okay, Jeff, do you have any last parting words? And Terry, do you have any last parting words for us?
No.
You can always say buy pastels.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to just say that was a wonderful, wonderful presentation. And it was really interesting from my point of view to see how you go to put things together, and that it's a very hands-on, nice, quality production way of doing things. And it's been very, very interesting.
Well, thank you. This is our very first Zoom tour, and I hope things went well. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes.
From what I understand, we have a big name out there, but as you can see, we've got a small production.
Jeff was perhaps a little reluctant when I asked him about doing a Zoom meeting. So, and I keep telling him he's got a tremendous little potential.
Yeah.
Don't you all think that a whole lot of other pastel groups out there would love this as their meeting too?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, absolutely.
So how about if we close this way? How about if everybody unmutes yourself? Unmute yourself, please. Okay.
All kinds of static.
All right, now how about if we all give them a nice big round of applause and our thank yous.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Hey,
Bravo.
Merci.
thanks, Jeff, and your dad. Good luck too.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks
so much.
Good luck to you. Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
The staff is such good
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
team. So I guess with that, Rich, unless you have anything else, our meeting will be adjourned.
No, thank you, Jody, for another wonderful
Yeah.
program.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jody.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks.
You're Jody.
Okay, we'll bring the meeting to an end, but I'll sit here for another 15 minutes. If anybody wants to stay and chat, you're welcome to do so. So see you next month.
Thanks.